Zidon Danny, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Electro Ninja's Lab. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the latest episode of My Hero Academia, which was the Deku versus Gentle Criminal. Like I said last time, this episode concluded Volume 19, as expected, and it's honestly kind of reasonable. If you don't know how Volume 20 ends, or Volume 19 ends, it actually ends on a cliffhanger with La Brava basically saying, "It's time for me to use my quirk," which is kind of basically what she says in the anime, except it's slightly different. Most of the changes that you'll actually notice in this episode compared to the actual between the manga and the anime are mostly transitional differences. Um, when they were dubbing over, they more used direct translations a little bit more than how Shonen Jump actually translates the manga in the manga. While most of it means basically the same thing, it's slight changes that are pretty helpful. Um, like I said, this didn't really cover too much. It basically just starts on this page, which surprisingly, all of this was actually last episode a little bit, and a little bit in this episode, but mostly in last episode. And we basically just started with them training, which is to be expected. There were a few things that were better in the animation, and that's pretty much all that I have to say about it. A few things of discussion that were a bit more clear, um, such as All Might being a bit more surprised about how compact things can be now. But I do want to bring up one little thing for discussion. I actually wanted to talk about this when the movie came out, but I didn't. Basically, I wanted to talk about the gloves. You can't, as you can see, the gloves in the actual manga actually have these little bumps that are a little bit more pronounced in the actual manga in comparison to the anime. You can actually see it the most clearly in Volume 20's cover art. As you can see, it's basically covering the entire the different the little yellow pieces that amplify the quirk of to shoot out the air blasts are much bigger in the actual manga, being almost completely covering the knuckle, while in the actual anime, they've actually shrunk them down so that they're about that big, the size of the space between my fingers. Again, it's not a huge difference, but it's big enough to notice. Um, and honestly, I'm kind of glad that they did that, but I don't know. They could have done things a little bit better. Pretty much all that happened in this episode was pretty much the exact same manga and anime. Pretty much covers the exact same stuff. A little bit better in the anime because honestly, all fight scenes are a little bit better in the anime than the manga. But that's just me. So that's pretty much it. So now we talk about what's going to be happening in Volume 20, as well, more accurately, the next episode, which I actually think it could be one of the last episodes. This season is most likely going to end somewhere in this volume, either in volume 20 or in volume 21, just due to the fact that there's not much left to really go over. Most likely, this next episode, even though it says that it's time for the actual episode says that the title suggest that it's going to be going into the actual show, I actually do believe that they are actually just going to go until Deku and the General Criminal finish up their fight. You'll actually notice, if you read the manga, that the fight is actually pretty long. Like, we still have about half of what the space was in the manga just to conclude the fight. On top of that, there's a little bit extra in here that basically wraps things up, and then we actually have the festival. I personally would prefer that they only go through all of the stuff to deal with Gentle Criminal. Basically, wrap up this battle, which was in Volume 20, and then next episode have the actual festival. Go all the way, honestly, go through that, because the musical part is cool and all, and I really think that they should be going for the full thing. Probably making a full few minutes of it. Maybe having half the episode devoted to just showing the song or the music, and then have the next episode, the next half of the episode actually conclude the rest of the festival. Mostly due to the fact that there was just a lot of stuff that happened. And it would honestly be a good point to wrap up, because then we can go straight. They can end it going straight into the final episode or two. There might be a few episodes. The exact details are a little unclear to me right now, but that's mostly due to the fact that Volume 21 is most likely going to be the last volume that has anything for this season, because honestly, I don't think that they're going to leave the whole fight stuff with between what's his name, Endeavor and Dobby until the next season, but that's just me. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Obviously, I love this episode, and I'm really excited to talk about next episode and the next few, but definitely let me know what you guys thought of the episodes, and of course, if you have any theories, leave them down in the comments below. Make sure to use the hashtag #TheoryReview so I can talk about it in my next video. And of course, if you are new, please subscribe and ring that notification bell. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. But anyways, guys, I've been Electro Ninja, and I'll see you guys next time. But on!